Good day, students. I hope you're ready for the class today. In exams, you get questions based on types of sentences. Look at these two sentences on the board. Sentence 1. If it had rained, we would have been wet. Sentence 2. The girls worked hard and they succeeded. The girls worked hard and they succeeded. The questions on the two sentences are: what type of sentence is each of the sentences above? 2. Analyze them. To resolve the problem, we will do this. We'll first of all study two types of conjunctions. The two types of conjunctions are coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. You all know what conjunctions are. Conjunctions join words, phrases, and even sentences. Conjunctions join words, phrases, clauses, and even sentences. The two types of conjunctions relevant to what we're going to study today are coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. The examples of the coordinating conjunctions are and, but, or, yet, so. Once again, examples of the coordinating conjunctions are and, but, or, yet, so. Take note of them. The other type of conjunction is subordinating conjunctions. There are many of them. Study the examples on the board well and pay attention to them. We have words like while, when, what, who, whose, whom, that, because, although, though, etc., and so on and so forth. Now we must also learn the types of clauses. There are two of them. The first one is called main or independent clause. Main clause or independent clause. If you describe a clause as a main clause, that means it can stand on its own and make complete sense. Look at these sentences. I saw him. The idea being expressed is clear. We enjoyed the class. The idea being expressed is clear, and therefore they are independent clauses. Subordinate or dependent clause. It cannot stand on its own and make complete sense. Look at the examples below. While I waited outside. Let's say that's all I say. While I waited outside. You won't be eager to know what I will have to complete the information. While I waited outside. You'll be asking me, so what happened? So what? Look at the second one. Although he worked hard. What happened? We're not told. So these are examples of subordinate clauses. Once again, a subordinate clause cannot stand on its own and make complete sense. Earlier on, I told you about the types of clauses, and I told you about two types of conjunctions. Those two aspects are important to what we are going to study now. Types of sentences. There are two types of sentences. 1. Sentence according to structure. 2. Sentence according to function. Two types of sentences. 1. Sentence according to structure. 2. Sentence according to function. The first one. There are 4 types of sentences according to structure. The first one is simple sentence. Simple sentence. What's a simple sentence? A simple sentence has only one main clause. One main clause. The one main clause will have a subject and the verb. That's the most important word. The most important element will be the verb. The verb. Now look at the examples below. I saw him. 3 words. 3 words. A sentence. It makes a complete word sense. I saw him. I, the subject. Saw, verb. Him, the object. Look at the second one. The boys read their books. The boys read their books. The boys, subject, read, verb, their books, object. Those are 2 examples of a simple sentence. Don't forget, I said a simple sentence has only one main clause. One main clause. When you now have more than one main clause, it is no longer a simple sentence. Once again, when you have more than one main clause, that sentence is no longer a simple sentence. Number 2, a compound sentence. A compound sentence has 2 or more main clauses. Once again, a compound sentence has 2 or more main clauses. Joined by what? Commas, colons, semicolons, or coordinating conjunctions like and, but, or, yet, so. Now look at the sentences below. You can identify the 2 main clauses there and the conjunctions used in what? Joining them. Look at number 1. I worked very hard and I succeeded. What are the 2 clauses there? The 2 clauses will be I worked very hard. I succeeded. Now the 2 clauses have been joined by the conjunction and. Once two main clauses are joined by the conjunction and, that sentence will be a compound sentence. Look at another quality of a compound sentence. This compound sentence, the clauses are joined by commas. I came, comma. I saw, comma. I conquered. I came, I saw, I what? Conquered. The 3 clauses are main clauses and therefore they form a compound sentence. That's a very good question from you. A very good question. You're asking me, is it compulsory that the simple sentence must have a subject? You remember I said something earlier on. I said the most important item in the sentence is the verb. Some sentences do not require an object. Look at this sentence. Let's call it number 3. Look at the sentence. If we do the analysis, we have what? He. He is the subject, wet is the verb. Simple. If I say something like this, leave, go out, those are simple sentences because the most important item in those sentences is, or in the sentences, are the verb. The verb is the most important. So the object is not necessary in identifying a simple sentence. It can be just a verb or it can be a subject and a verb. The 3rd type of sentence according to structure is complex sentence. Complex sentence. A complex sentence has one main clause joined to a subordinate clause by subordinating conjunctions like what, when, because, though, although, who, which, and so on and so forth. Examples. Sentence A. While the students were in the hall, the management held a meeting. If you look at the sentence on the board, you'll be able to divide the sentence into the main clause and the subordinate clause. The main clause in sentence A is the management held a meeting. The management held a meeting. That main clause can stand on its own. On the other hand, just say this sentence in isolation, alone. While the students were in the hall, you will know that it's a subordinate clause. So if we have one main clause and a subordinate clause, the sentence will be a complex sentence. In the second example, B, he told me that he would return the next day. He told me that he would return the next day. Now if you do the analysis, which of the clauses is the main clause? Which one is the subordinate clause? You will agree with me that the main clause is he told me. That's the main clause. Leaving us with that he would return the next day. That's the subordinate clause. As I said earlier on, when a sentence has a main clause and a subordinate clause, that sentence is a complex sentence. It can be subordinate clause before main clause, or it can be main clause before subordinate clause. Number 4, compound complex sentence is an amalgamation of the compound sentence and the complex sentence. The compound sentence will have two main clauses, while the complex sentence will be a subordinate clause. So a compound sentence has two main clauses joined to a subordinate clause. Two main clauses joined to a subordinate clause. A compound complex sentence is an amalgamation of the compound sentence and the complex sentence. A compound sentence, as you know, has two main clauses. A complex sentence will have a subordinate clause. So, a compound complex sentence has two main clauses joined to a subordinate clause. We will use the example below to illustrate the compound complex sentence. The example is this: we worked hard and we succeeded. Those are the two main clauses. We worked hard and we succeeded. The two main clauses. Joined to a subordinate clause. The subordinate clause is although some people wished otherwise. That's an example of a compound complex sentence. Those are the 4 types of sentences according to structure. 4 types of sentences according to structure. Don't forget, I told you there are 2 types of sentences. Sentences according to structure and sentences according to function. We will move on to the sentences according to function. Earlier on, I told you about the 2 types of sentences. I said there are sentences according to structures and sentences according to function. Now we have on the board the sentences according to function. Types of sentences according to function. The first one is called declarative or assertive sentence. The declarative or assertive sentence is always like it's a statement. It expresses a fact or a statement, whether negative or positive. That means the fact or the statement can be in the negative or in the positive. Look at the sentences on the board. We have A, I'll be in Lagos tomorrow. B, the students love reading. 2, another type is interrogative or the question. Interrogative or question. It asks questions. It is used in asking question. Look at question in a sentence A. Will you be there? Will you be there? That's a question. It normally ends with a question mark. Take note, when you write a question, it must end with a question mark, not a full stop. Look at B. Where is the book? Where is the book? It is a question, therefore it ends with a question mark. Number 3 is command. Command, or it is called the imperative. The imperative. The imperative normally starts with a verb. Like sit down, close the door, get out, stop talking. All those ones are examples of a command or the imperative. Sometimes the command can be implied. It can be implied. You may not want to hurt the person's feelings. You can say something like this: sit down, will you? Sit down, will you? It's still what? A command. The 4th one is the exclamatory sentence. As the name implies, it means exclamation, to exclaim, to express surprise, to show what? Emotion. So the exclamatory sentence is used in expressing a strong feeling or emotion. It normally ends with an exclamation mark. Look at sentence A. Hurrah! We won. Look at the exclamation mark. Sentence B. Ouch! Exclamation mark. It hurts. Look at them again. From 1, sentence according to function, we have declarative, interrogative, command, and exclamatory. Whether you can identify the types of sentences according to structure in A, the types of sentences according to function in B. Don't forget the types of sentences according to structure. They are the simple sentence, the compound sentence, the complex sentence, and the compound complex sentence. Look at number 1. Our teachers are dedicated to duty. What type of sentence is that? Look at it closely. Does it have 1 clause, 2 clauses, 3 clauses? If you look at it closely, you will discover that it has only 1 clause. Only 1 clause. Therefore, what type of sentence is that? A simple sentence. A simple sentence. The main clause consists of a subject, our teachers. The verb, are dedicated. Then the object will be to duty. Look at number 2. How many clauses has it got? How many clauses? You will find 2 clauses. And what are the types of clauses? There's definitely a subordinate clause and a main clause. If a sentence has a main clause and a subordinate clause, what type of sentence is that? That's a complex sentence. If it had rained, what will it be? A subordinate clause. We would have been wet will be what? The main clause. Main clause plus subordinate clause is equal to complex sentence. Number 3. I like good food, but I hate bitter drinks. I like good food, but I hate bitter drinks. In sentence 3, you will be able to identify 2 main clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction. What's the coordinating conjunction? But. And the 2 main clauses are, I like good food. And the second one, but I hate bitter drinks. When 2 main clauses are joined, they are called a compound sentence. Number 3. Since they had apologized, I would forgive them, and I would forget their offenses. In that sentence, there are 2 main clauses. What are the 2 main clauses? I would forget. and I would forgive and I will forget their offenses. Two main clauses joined to a subordinate clause. What is subordinate clause there? Since they had apologized. So when you have two main clauses joined to a subordinate clause, it is called a compound complex sentence. In number 5, in the face of many obstacles, Musa persevered. I like that sentence. It's long. It's long. How many clauses has it got? If you look at it closely, you will find out it has only one clause. As long as it is, it has only one clause. Therefore, what type of sentence will it be? A simple sentence. Now we go to B. In B, we have sentences according to functions. Sentences according to function. When we are talking about sentences according to function, we have declarative, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. Look at number 1. Who is the boy in the red shirt? That's clearly a question. Therefore, it will be called an interrogative sentence. Stop it. That's what? A command. Therefore, it will be called an imperative sentence. I like to shop in the local market. That one is clearly a statement expressing a fact. Therefore, it will be regarded as a declarative sentence. Look at number 4. How wonderful. How wonderful. That sentence is expressing a strong feeling, maybe of surprise. Therefore, what will it be called? It's an exclamatory sentence. Everyone was treated fairly. That will clearly be a statement, and therefore the expression will be a declarative sentence. You can see that there are two types of sentences. Types of sentences according to structure and types of sentences according to function. Most of the time, the examining bodies test types of sentences according to structure. But if it is stated that you should state this type of sentences according to function, you know what to do. The topic is structures of a simple sentence. Structures of a simple sentence. First, what's a simple sentence? A simple sentence has only one main clause. The main clause will have at least a subject and a verb. A subject and a verb. The most important item in a sentence is the verb. It can be the combination of the subject and the predicate. Look at the example here. The students love mathematics. The subject of the sentence is the students. Who loves mathematics? The students. And the verb is love and mathematics. Mathematics is the complement. Everything that comes after the students becomes the predicate. The predicate can be further broken down, can be analyzed into V, which is verb, that is the action word. Then O, object, that's the receiver of the action, or the person that suffers the action. The complement makes the sentence complete. For example, you say he is. If you stop there, the sentence is not complete. But if you say he is a man there makes the subject, makes the sentence complete. A stands for adjunct. Adjunct is another word for adverbials. And you know the types of adverbials, the various types. You have place, time, reason, manner, and so on and so forth. Now, today we are going to learn how to break down a simple sentence, how to analyze a simple sentence. A simple sentence can have just S standing for what? Subject. And V standing for what? A verb. That means the sentence will just be the combination of a subject and a verb. Examples are Shola laughed. The subject is Shola. Laughed is the verb. And look at the next sentence. The man has traveled. The man has traveled. The man is the subject. Has traveled, the verb. Now those same sentences can take adjuncts. We will talk about them later. Now look at this one. SVA. S stands for subject. V for verb. A, adjunct. And see the sentence. John walked out of the house. John walked out of the house. The subject is John. Walked, the verb. Out of the house. That's the word. Adjunct, the adverbial. Then the next one. Mr. Johnson teaches in the school. Mr. Johnson is the subject. Teaches, the verb. In the school, adjunct. Now let's see whether we can change the structures of these sentences to SVA. SVA. Can anybody try? If you have something like this, he laughed. How? Loudly. It will become what? SVA. Shola, subject, laughed, verb, loudly, adverb, the adjunct. Let's try the second one. The man has traveled will become the man has traveled out of the country. The man, subject, has traveled, the verb, out of the country, adjunct. We've seen two structures, SV and SVA. SV, subject, verb, then subject, verb, adjunct. Don't forget, I said adjunct stands for adverbials. Now here are some other structures. We have SVC. SVC stands for subject, verb, and complement. Subject, verb, complement. Look at the sentence on the board. Junior is a banker. Yes. Junior is a banker. Junior is the subject. The verb is. A banker is the complement. My sister seems happy. My sister, subject, seems. The verb, happy, complement. The next one, SVO. S, as you know, stands for the subject, V, verb, O, object. Examples, Audu won the award. Audu, subject. Won, verb. What did Aldo win? The award. That's the object. That's SVO. The next one, our class teacher lost his wallet. Our class teacher, the subject, lost, verb, and the object is his wallet. SVOA stands for subject, verb, object, and adjunct. Examples, our class teacher took the students home. Good. Our class teacher is the subject. Took, the verb, the students, object, and home is the adverbial. Where did the class teacher take the students? Home. That's the adverbial. Therefore, it is the adjunct. John bought a car last month. John, subject, bought, verb, a car, object, last month, showing time, that's adjunct. SVOC, subject, verb, object, and complement. Examples, Francis called him a thief. Francis, subject, called, verb, him, object, then a thief is the complement. It makes the sentence complete. Francis called him what? A thief. That's the complement. Look at the second example under SVOC. The class made him class captain. The class, the subject, made, verb, him, object, class captain, the complement. Then we have ASVO, standing for what by now? That will be adjunct, subject, verb, object. Look at the sentence. Yesterday, I bought a new car. Take note, adverbials or adjuncts are mobile. They can move from the end of the sentence to the beginning of the sentence, or they can be in the middle of the sentence. Yesterday, adjunct. I, subject. Verb, bought. A new car, object. That's ASVO. Then the next sentence, last week, he taught the class. Last week will be the adjunct. He, subject. Taught, verb. The class, object of the verb, taught. And these are other structures of the simple sentence. We have SVOCA, that's the subject, verb, object, complement, and adjunct. Look at the sentences. Shola gave me some money yesterday. Shola, the subject. Give, verb. Me, object. Some money, the complement. Yesterday, the adjunct. The class made Emeka class captain last year. The class, subject, made, verb, Emeka, object, class captain, the complement, and last year is the adjunct. Don't forget what I said earlier on about the adjunct. I said adjuncts are mobile. We have ASVC, adjunct, subject, verb, and complement. Very soon, it will become a graduate. Very soon, the adjunct, he, subject, will become the verb, a graduate, complement. Last year, he taught the class. Last year, adjunct, he, subject, taught, verb, the class, complement. Now, on your own, you can analyze the following sentences. This should be like a game to you. You can write the structures, SV, form a sentence on your own. You can use it as a game. It can engage you and help you in forming what? Good sentences, good simple sentences. You can make the adjunct mobile, bring the adjunct to the beginning, make a sentence with a pattern like this, ASVC. If you can do it, that means you are becoming more mature in the use of what? The language and the sentences. On your own, as I said, do the analysis of the sentences on the board.